Welcome, Warriors. Back with another video. Vigor Warriors 2. Welcome to our channel. We do a lot of videos on the health, wealth, and spiritual benefit of all. I focus a lot on my generation, I'm in 60s and onward, and I'm 60 years old. So I put a lot of information out dealing with that, but we have a lot of younger people and men and women involved in the channel. So I'm always thankful for comments and subscriptions and likes that you guys do, and even dislikes, because I want to make sure that we're doing information that is needed in these times where you're getting a lot of information that I just don't think was correct in my situation. And I'm going to go by my experiences and add some things into as we go along. So a lot of great topics, and once again, all your comments gives me a chance to kind of put a list of things together as I see it. So I still going to catch up with some stuff with the Fountain of Youth and Think and Grow Rich and a few other books that we have. But let me focus on one called The Demon of Lust. And this is an interesting one because I think that we talked about lust and the problems of lust before, but I want to kind of go back to it a little bit, because when you look at the situation that you have with the journey you're on, and the biggest thing is, and I'm at 475 days, I believe it is, the biggest issue that you really have is the fact that you're changing your whole mental outlook on the problem that was created. See, I think for a long time, people felt like, and I know I felt like this, that you have to go ahead and release your energy. It's for your own good, is what I was told many times. That if you don't do it, you're a problem. There's something wrong with you if you can't do it, right? Well, guys, it's actually the opposite. In my opinion, being on this journey, I realized that all the energy you have is kept within you. And that makes you healthier, that makes you more focused, that makes you a lot more attractive, and that makes you a virile man. And I think that has been something that people have wanted to get rid of. I believe that. And I think people, this whole idea that you have to release all the time, it becomes a mental addiction. And lust destroys everything. And so when you come down to it, all the things that we're talking about goes back to this idea of lust. And lust starts with a thought. And lust starts with this idea that, it seems like it's great at the beginning. It's great to go chase after women and pictures and things like that. But in the long run, the short-term types of benefits are, living a miserable life of addiction. And it gets worse and worse, and you get drained and more drained. And I believe that as you lose your energy, a lot more of these medical problems occur. I think back problems, I think leg problems, all these things occur because, you have more eye problems. Things occur because you're releasing and you're giving up all that vital fluid. And I've been just so blessed in my mind to finally find the answer, and I just finally be able to control myself after all these years to be able to kind of find the solution out. And going hard mode as much as I can has helped me realize that, there's a whole new different life than what's been portrayed and what's been told. And so when you go back to this idea, do not allow that demon of lust to come in, because that demon's going to go ahead and control you. And it's going to lead you along with the mental addictions. And lust, as I said, it controls everything. It controls and destroys everything you do. And so nothing seems the same. If you spend your time and all you're doing is worried more about chasing, girls and all this other kind of stuff, chasing and looking at pictures and images and all that, you're basically destroying yourself. And other people are happy to do that and even profit from that. And they're making money from that. And so if you waste all your time and you waste your energy, you're becoming less of a man. And so this is why we have a whole different movement that's happened over the years, where women have become stronger than men. Because women have energy as well, of course, right? And as we talk about women have the energy, and they keep the energy most of the month on a steady basis. Now they lose energy, during their period of the month, but The idea is that men have an abundance of energy as long as they keep it. But the problem is they don't keep it. And most men, if you're following this journey, you're looked upon as almost an oddball, somebody who's strange, right? You mean celibacy? But we're going to do another report on people like Tesla and Shakespeare and Newton. These people all practiced it. They also were celibate, right? And people thought, didn't think they were crazy. All the innovations they made, all the stuff they did, that's because they were able to keep their minds off of these things. And see, the technology has really hurt us in this way. Films and TV and these things, we didn't have a lot of these things before. And so because of that, you didn't have a lot of chances to go ahead and get your visual eyes tempted into this idea of lust. And obviously, if you look at any sort of religious magazine, books or things like that, the Bible is one I bring up. Sin, lust is the biggest sin that you can have besides, besides idols and things like that. I mean, when you talk about lust, you're lusting after something that's more of a emphasis, more of a a fantasy type of thing. And so basically what you're doing is lusting after something that's really not, real. It's kind of an image in your mind. And even if it's a person, it's still an image, because really that person is no different than you are, right? They are in my mind, a bag of bones. And if I look at it that way, I tend to think wholly different about people, right? And you're not as willing to be captivated and enter that area and keep that demon of lust away. So you have a lot of enemies, my friends. You have people who are out there, and this is why, the Bible always talks about that we're not battling people. We're battling spirits, principles, all those things outside of the person we're looking at, right? We're not dealing with those type of things that we see. We're dealing with all these other types of things around us. And you tell me if I believe in demons, I believe in spirits and demons. I do. Because I think there's a lot of things going on that we just don't see. But what I've seen more of, I'm becoming more in tune with those things on my journey and being able to kind of see things more the way they are. And not because I was in a different state and looking at depression and things like that, and very much more vulnerable to the idea of lust. And because if you have a high nature, a high energy level to begin with, and I've been blessed with a high energy level, the problem is with that is that you have to control it. And I could not control it for many, many years. And now I finally realized how to control it to some level. Like I said, 475 days, which I'm just very excited about. And I'm happy that I'm keeping on the pace, and I don't look to change anytime soon, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully that I will not move into that lust area, but I'm always on the lookout, always beware of things that can go ahead and kind of get you at the last minute before you know it. And that thing is lust, right? Lust is something that's always there. And my issue is that I've had many years of relapse and issues, and so that's always stuck in the back of your mind somewhere, and sometimes it may come out, and you have to be aware those things happen. For some of you younger guys, you don't have as much of that past history as I do. So your struggle is a little bit different, but still, the lust is there. The lust issue is there. And you have to be very cognizant of it and be aware that those things are something that can affect you. So when we look at this kind of issue, guys, one of the demons you're fighting, besides all the principalities and things that you deal with on a more of a spiritual level, you're dealing with a demon. And demon is somebody that's going to take you over and basically leads you down the path of destroying yourself. And so, that's why I don't drink, and that's why I don't smoke. But my biggest issue was the loss of energy, right? And so I tried to avoid a lot of those things, and I fell victim to that for many years, and I'm trying to now overcome that. And so life is a continual battle, because you have things around you always trying to take your energy away, always trying to make you weaker and get away from the virile male that you should be. Because obviously the more males and females are out there that are strong, the less the people can actually go ahead and control them and be on top of them. And when I look at these type of things, they're very much controlling behaviors. Lust is a controlling behavior. It's putting you in someone else's power, right? You do that also with all kinds of things. And so when you look at any kind of addiction, whether it's fast food, whether it's alcohol, whether it's drugs, heroin, weed, whatever it might be, those things you give up your power to go into something else, and someone else takes your power away. And that's just very, very dangerous. So as we look at this, the key is you've got to stay away from mental addictions. And I'll talk about a couple other videos eventually that it looks good, right? It looks good, just like fast food looks good. But once you eat it, like you go to McDonald's, and I used to love McDonald's all the time. Eat McDonald's, you feel great for what? Maybe an hour, maybe even less. Then after that, I feel terrible. And that's finally when it hit me saying, this is not worth it. So never put in your body things that are going to hurt you. And we talk about this in mental diarrhea, right? The same thing comes with this. Don't entertain thoughts. Try to avoid entertaining thoughts by getting other things in your mind, doing hobbies, playing music, anything you want to do, work. I think it was SH who was kind of talking about the fact that, I'm doing a lot of videos. Well, at 4 o'clock in the morning, like I was doing yesterday morning, I'm sitting there, and it's either going to be doing some work or possibly thinking about these type of temptations. So I'd rather put the videos out and help you guys and kind of get back motivated to go back to sleep or to do work, and not be in a position where lust and these things can kind of take over. And so we talk about nightfall and these type of things. You have to kind of be careful of that. But I'm not sleeping a lot because I have so much energy, and this is something I'm not used to even after 475 days. I get up and I want to do some work. Now I have to later on take a 10-15 minute nap at times just to catch up, but it's amazing the amount of energy you have. You just have to learn how to kind of harness it, transmute it, and control it. And one of the things you got to avoid is that addiction, especially mental addiction when it comes to lust. And lust is something that's going to kill you guys and gals. You're going to have to stay away from that type of thing. And my best recommendation, find one person that you can have a relationship with, and just kind of don't be chasing tons of people, because that's going to get you in all kinds of lust problems. Okay, because you're not going to be happy with one person. Now you're going to go to the next person and the next person, just like cars, right? People are happy with a car for 4 or 5 months, and then they got to get a new one, a new house, a new partner, a lot of new things, because you're not satisfied, and it becomes an addiction after a while. And you can get addicted to smoking just like you can get addicted to lust. And so you've got to stay away, because you're going down the wrong path, and it leads to destruction. It's almost like a lamb going to slaughter. One person after another, one person. And some of these people's body counts are so high that you never know what their soul is. It's almost like it's empty after a while. And this is what lust can do to you, destroy you. So keep that energy, my friends. Get away from that lust. Bang that frickin' devil back in the head and say, get out of here, devil, and don't come back again. Till next time, fight that demon lust, fight those vampires, fight the succubuses, and fight those zombies. And we'll see you next time. Battle on, warriors. Battle on.